Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Good to be with you today on this Friday. Is it Friday already? Somebody told me it was. Yes, it is indeed. Friday, and not just Friday, but football, Friday night. High school football gets kicked off around the area, at least for most of the area tonight, and we'll be telling you a little bit more about that here after a bit. Actually, if you want to get technical about it, the football season got started last night with a number of high school football games around the area. But we'll tell you all about that coming up on the sports here in just a little bit. We always start out with the weather, and for those going to the games tonight, you really want to know what it looks like out there this evening. Well, today, beautiful, sunny and 76, nice fall weather. Clear tonight. They're talking about dry conditions, and if you're going to the game, kickoff, the temperature is going to be around 73, but by the end of the game at 10 o'clock, about 10 degrees cooler at 63. So you might want to take a sweater, maybe even wear a light long sleeve shirt, because by the end of the night, before you leave the stadium, it might be a little bit chilly. We'll tell you about where we're going to be tonight with our new Litter Media Radio venture and our game of the week. All of that coming up on sports. We've got a lot of topics to tell you about as well, and all of that coming up here in just a moment. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor for more than 40 years, not only through the Scioto Valley, but now stretching into other counties as well. Up north of I-70, down in the Cincinnati area, Dayton, they can fix you up with your heating, cooling, and plumbing needs. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, if you need a cleanup project around your home, these folks can help get it taken care of. Give them a call for a free estimate, 253-8389, and tell Carl that Dan and Mike sent you. News of the day coming up right after this.
Big yards, small yards, hilly yards, silly yards. Every yard is unique, and every yard, no matter how much you love it, can be uniquely frustrating to mow. That's why Country Clipper is designed to tackle any obstacle imaginable. It's the perfect mower for even the most imperfect yard. Country Clipper, engineered for easy.
Well, we always ask you to check out our website each day, and of course on Friday night with scores, you'll have all of those up there too, as well as information about our game of the week. About an hour ago, we talked with Pastor Tom Perrin of the Calvary Lutheran Church, along with a parishioner and longtime friend of Dan and Mike's, who was busy for many, many years working in the corrections and rehabilitation departments, not only for the state of Ohio, but with the federal government, Gary Moore. They were talking about God's Work, Our Hands. It's a project that Calvary Lutheran will be involved in the morning of September the 10th. Even if you don't attend Calvary, they ask you to come and help do some service projects that they have going on around our community. Go to our Facebook site for videos to get more information. Crack and root repairs on 10 miles of the Paint Creek Recreational Trail will begin on August the 21st, weather permitting. Temporary closures of several sections of the bike path will occur over a couple of weeks depending on weather and other conditions. First section of closure will be from the Chillicothe City line to Lyric Lane. So go to our website site story for more information about that project and what and when it all takes place. Got this notice yesterday from the Ross County Health District that Abbott Lab has extended the expiration dates with the approval of the Food and Drug Administration on test kits for COVID. They provide a website where you can check the test kits that you have in your home and the expiration dates. There's that's the Binax Now test kits. There's a lot number that you can go to at Abbott.com to find out if the kit that you, unused kit that you have at home may still be usable for this fall. Ross County YMCA announcing that tomorrow's session has been moved to Saturday, September the 16th. Anyone who has registered is now registered for Saturday, September the 16th, so they just bump you to the later date. But if you can't attend that session in September, see the Next Level Athlete for a full reimbursement. Knights of Columbus Council 15793 hosting a drive-through food distribution from 10 to noon tomorrow. That's behind St. Peter's Church on the corner of Church and Water Street in Chillicothe. Ross County residents in need of food are invited to enter the parking lot using the Church Street entrance and exit onto Water Street. Please be advised that there is now no ID requirement for this event. That's a difference. Additionally, they have diapers and wipes available, sizes newborn to 6, and baby food while supplies last. Ross County Land Reutilization Corporation meets this coming Monday, that's August 21st at 11 a.m. That meeting is open to the public at the Ross County Commissioner's Office at 2 North Paint Street in Chillicothe. Living Waters Christ and Christian Union Church in Kingston will host a block party from 5 to 8 p.m. on Sunday, August the 27th. They'll have free food, drinks, and games, and that includes a cornhole tournament. Church is located at 20 West 3rd Street in Kingston. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Forestry invites the public to attend an in-person open house to learn more about the annual work plan for state forest. 3 open house events are scheduled for September 12th through the 14th. Now, the Southeast District Office in Athens will host an open house on September the 12th, while this location, the Southern region, it's located in Chillicothe, that'll be on the 13th from 4:30 to 6:30. The other that we mentioned, that's in Loudonville, Ohio. The Renaissance Singers will be in concert on Sunday, September the 10th at First Presbyterian Church. The theme is TV time. I can only imagine what that might be. A lot of our friends are in the Renaissance Singers, but that concert on September the 10th will be at 2 p.m. Our road report today takes us up to Pickaway County. That project on Island Road continues. Island Road is closed at Route 22 through August of this year. So still a couple more weeks to go. If you're looking for the detour of that is on, US 22 Court Street to High Street, then to Island Road. So that is the detour for getting around Island Road, because that is, again, going to be closed for another couple of weeks. And those are your topics for the day. A lot to tell you about in sports. All of that is coming up, and we'll get to that right after these words from our great sponsors.
Budweiser beer, the king is second to none.
Who drinks Budweiser? You know the type. The people who grind. Those who don't back down. And the ones who don't quit. They say all people are 6 degrees of separation away from each other. But some are just a six-pack away. The people who share the same spirit, share the same beer. This Bud's for you.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
At Rathkamp Financial, we offer customized investment solutions and superior client service. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
Roco Music Fest is coming to the Ross County Fairgrounds in Chillicothe Labor Day weekend, September 1st through 3rd. Friday night features Jana Kramer.
Why you wanna show up in a old t-shirt that had a
Plus Little Texas and Jimmy Mowry. Saturday's headliner Dustin Lynch. Featuring Randy Houser and Nolan Taylor.
Let me show you how country feels.
Sunday's headliner Parker McCollum.
Finally got a handle on you.
Featuring Ray Lynn. And Sweet Tea Trio. Single-day passes are $100. 3-day weekend passes are $175. Camping is also available for the weekend at the Ross County Fairgrounds. Tickets and camping passes are available at rosscountyfair.com. Plan to spend your Labor Day weekend in Ross County at the Roco Music Festival at the Ross County Fairgrounds in Chillicothe. Visit rosscountyfair.com.
Yeah, you had to come walking in here and sit down.
All right, a lot of sports to tell you about. Let's jump into it with high school sports. Last night, the Lady Mustangs of Westfall did kind of what their male counterparts at Westfall did the night before. They won an SVC golf match. It was the first one of the season for the girls. Westfall last night at Dogwood Hills shot a team score of 189. Piketon was a distant second with a 209. Westfall's Paige Weiss grabbed medalist honors, shooting a 40. FAC girls went right back at it again for a second night in a row, only this time McLean was the winner. Aubrey Arnold of Jackson, for a second night in a row, takes home the medalist honors. High school football actually kicked off around the area last night with a couple of games. Portsmouth blasting Valley 59-29. I think that's 7 straight wins for Portsmouth over Lucasville Valley in that matchup. And Athens Bulldogs taking on the Electrics of Philo. Philo coming out on top in that one, 28-13. Don't forget to join us tonight. The Litter Media Game of the Week. It takes on a little bit of a different flavor this year compared to the last 2 years. As we told you yesterday during our debut of the Game of the Week preview show, we've replaced our Friday night post-game show, which wasn't getting on until West Coast times. We've replaced that with our Thursday preview, and then the Game of the Week will be broadcast live on Litter Media Radio, which is coming online. Tom Beard and yours truly will be at Chillicothe High School tonight, where the Cavaliers take on St. Charles. And we'll get on the air, good Lord willing, at about 6:50. And again, if you want to see the pregame of that with a lot of comments from Coach Bart and some of the Cavalier players and a little background on St. Charles, you can go back to our preview show, which aired live at noon yesterday. Here's what's happening in other high school football games tonight. Of course, almost all of them are non-conference games. These, by the way, can be found on our Litter Media score page at littermedia.com. We're pretty much only taking care of scores on our score page for Friday nights during our broadcast night. All of the other night with different sports, we're posting those on our Litter Twitter page. One other set, London at Courthouse, Waverly hosting Miami Trace, Southeastern hosting Northwest, as a number of games that are being played elsewhere tonight. All right, what does that bring us to here? Also, something that we debuted yesterday was our Player of the Week, sponsored by Neil Coleman Insurance and Wyandotte Mutual Insurance. And if you didn't see it yesterday or see it on our social media, Elena Seeley of Circleville Golf was our first week winner. But we want your help in finding out who the top players each week are, and you can nominate a player for next week's preview show by sending those nominations. If you got a photo of them, that's great, as well as some of their stats, so we can gauge who should be the athlete of the week. That's at littermedia.com, and that is at any level of amateur sports. Even if you got some local college kids that are in some type of a fall sport, you can nominate them too. Reds were idle last night, but they opened a weekend series against the Toronto Blue Jays in Cincinnati. That's a 6:40 start for the Redlegs later tonight. If you're a Guardians fan, you know they got rained out in the what was supposed to be the series startup with the Tigers. So that game is being made up as part of a twilight doubleheader today. Game 1 starts at 4:10, and then the nightcap will be after 7 o'clock tonight in Cleveland. So a lot to tell you about there with the Guardians in that weekend series, but it starts out with a doubleheader against the Tigers later tonight. Cincinnati and Cleveland are pretty much in the same boat as far as any pennant hopes. They've got to start winning, putting together a string of games in both of their divisions, the Central and of the American League and National Leagues, respectively. So go Cards and go Reds. This date in history stays on a sports theme, and we take you to 1992 when we come back.
If you can't give true love to me, I'll understand. Just
it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
At Rathkamp Financial, we believe in building client relationships for the long term, guiding you through the stages of wealth with a plan and bringing you closer to reaching your financial dreams. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions.
When ensuring what's important to you, Andy Tomlinson and his associates are there when you need them the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit TomlinsonINS.com to learn more.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
Well, as we wrap up, we take you back in history with this date in history moment. And it's a sports theme today from the year 1992. Larry Legend. Celebrated Boston Celtics forward Larry Bird retired on this date in 1992. Bird was a high school basketball star in his native Indiana, and after graduation received a scholarship to play for Bobby Knight at Indiana. But Bird was homesick and uncomfortable in the spotlight in Bloomington, so he left school after a month and went back to French Lick, his hometown, and eventually enrolled at the smaller Indiana State, far from a basketball powerhouse. But there, Bird was a one-man show, averaging 30 points per game as a sophomore, junior, and senior, and he led the Sycamores to an undefeated record in his senior season and the national championship game, which, of course, you might remember, he lost to Irvin Magic Johnson of Michigan State. And then those two guys, that was just the beginning, as they had many and many, many head-to-head matchups in the NBA title games. Bird won only one of those head-to-heads with the Laker. But in his career, Larry Legend led the Celtics to 3 NBA titles. He was a regular season MVP 3 straight seasons, a playoff MVP, and was an NBA All-Star 9 times. Larry Bird retiring from the NBA on this date in 1992. Of course, Larry went on to coach, head coach of the Indiana Pacers for, I don't know, it wasn't a long time, maybe 3 or 4 years. But, yeah, what a basketball talent. Well, that's going to wrap things up for our daily program. Don't forget to join us tonight on Litter Media Radio at about 6:50. You say, how can I get Litter Media Radio? Well, we've been sending out the QR codes on our social media. Heck, if you're at the ball game tonight, you'll see our Litter Media Radio banner hanging up on the press box. That QR code is on that banner as well. You could hold your smartphone up to that. It'll take you right to that site. But we urge you to get the Live 365 app And if you just type in the search window there, Litter Media Radio, it'll come right up. There's other interviews and news and weather and sports. It's not the finished product yet as far as the imaging. That's still maybe a couple of weeks away, but we're getting it up and running so you can hear many of the interviews that we do here each day, newscast and so forth, and then live play-by-play with Tom Beard and I tonight. Chillicothe hosting St. Charles, and again, we hope to get on the air somewhere around 6:50. Yes, Dan Ramey is still in the game, so to speak. Dan will be patrolling the sidelines, putting together a video package of all of the highlights, the marching bands, the cheerleaders, and all of that you'll see next week as part of that Game of the Week video package that he puts out on YouTube. And Dan also will more than likely have a part of our broadcast tonight with the post-game interviews with head coach Scott Bartholomew after the game. So a lot to tell you about later tonight. We'll hold it for there. Until that time, for Dan Ramey, this is Mike Smith saying have a great weekend, everybody. And as Charles Osgood used to say, see you on the radio later tonight. I'm Mike Smith.